There's a great interest today in detecting prostate cancers that are potentially lethal, and there are many tests that are trying to do that. There's a lot of controversy about PSA testing. The bad thing about it is that it's elevated in too many men who don't have cancer. So it leads to a lot of unnecessary biopsies which have complications. It leads to diagnosis of cancers that are not life-threatening. We don't want to go down that road. We don't want to get a man involved in biopsies and treatment for something that's really not, at the end of the day, beneficial to their health. Across the board, we found that we were able to reduce the number of biopsies from 10 to 50%, and yet we still found almost all the high-grade Gleason 7 or higher cancers that were present in these men. The Vaserbotten Intervention Project, or VIP as we like to call it, was a very important study where men gave a blood sample 15, 20 years ago, were followed in the Swedish healthcare system, and we knew who eventually developed prostate cancer, developed metastatic cancer, or died of prostate cancer. But what was really remarkable in this VIP study is that even among men with a high PSA, this test was able to predict 15, 20 years in advance who was likely to die of prostate cancer and who was not, who was likely to develop metastatic prostate cancer and who was not. So it showed us for the first time that this panel of markers can predict what's going to happen to you way down the road. There's very few tests in medicine that can predict what's going to happen to you 15 or 20 years later. When I get a result back from the PSA test, it allows me to say to a patient, look, your PSA is elevated and I'm concerned you're at risk of having cancer, but we know many people like you don't have cancer, or they have a cancer that's not very serious. Now I have the results of this new test and it tells me your particular PSA is something we don't have to worry about. So I think patients will find it very reassuring. In order to cure a prostate cancer, you have to find it when it's still contained in the prostate or the area around the prostate. Metastatic advanced prostate cancer is treatable but not curable. What we want to do is be able to find who has a potentially lethal cancer when it's still curable, and that's what's so important about this group of tests.